In this video, we are going to take a look at how to install and configure Active Directory certificate services on Windows Server 2012. I'm on a server that will be my ADCS server, and the first thing we need to do to install ADCS is to install the role. And this is the command to do it. And with the role installed, we will get two new PowerShell modules. So the ADCS administration and ADCS deployment module. And the difference between these two modules is that ADCS administration contains only commands used to administer ADCS. And the ADCS deployment module contains only commands used to deploy or uninstall different parts of certificate services. And here are the commands from the deployment module. You see only install something and uninstall something. And in this video we are just going to install the basic certificate services. We are not going to install any bling bling or GUIs or other stuff. We are just going to make a server that can give us certificates. So with that in mind, we are going to use the following command to install a certificate authority. In the CA type, we specify that we want the enterprise root CA option, which means that our CA will be tied to Active Directory. Then you can specify a crypto provider name, and you can use this one or another one. You can search on Google different types of crypto providers. Key length and hash algorithm for our certificates, and we want confirm equals false, so we are not asked if we are sure we want to do it. So then let's run the command. And with error ID 0 and error string null, it means that everything worked. Now let's see also a list of commandlets from the administration module. And here you go, there are not too many. And one that I find interesting is the commandlet that will show you a list of your usable CA templates. And if you are wondering what a CA template is, think about the following thing. When you have a certificate authority, you will want certificates for different things. For example, maybe you want certificates for websites to encrypt HTTPS traffic, or you may want also certificates for authentication. Of course, these two will have different options, different settings. This is where templates come in. You can have a web server template from which you create certificates for your web server, and you can have authentication templates from which you will request certificates for authentication. And the list of certificate templates that you can use at the moment is this one. Not too big, but don't worry, because on the server we have actually a lot more templates, but they are in a store from which they cannot be used. The server has a special store with more templates that you can take and import into your usable template list. And to see them, you can open an MMC, add a new snap-in, choose certificate templates, and while we are at it, let's also add this one with the computer, and I will show you also this one. So first, certificate templates, like I told you, these are all the templates that you have on the server. but not all of them are usable, because from this screen you could import new ones into the certificate authority, into the certificate templates part. And in this screen you will see the templates that you also saw with the PowerShell commandlet, the ones from which you can actually request certificates at this moment. And while we are here in the certificate authority pane, so this is where you will manage your CA. You can see a list of your revoked certificates, your issued certificates, any pending requests that you may have, failed requests, and the templates. And that's mostly it. Now it would be interesting to create our own template, to customize a template and request a certificate from that template to see how it goes. So I will use as a base the web server template, right click, duplicate template, and now we can create our own. For example, for compatibility we can choose 2012 R2 since we don't have servers or Windows 7 or 8 computers that are not 2012 R2. So this, then we can also give it a more interesting name, like for example web intranet. In the validity period you see that a certificate from this template is valid 2 years. We can switch it for example to 4. In request handling it would be good to also check this, allow private key to be exported. This means that you can request a certificate on a server, but then you can export the certificate with the private and public key and import it on another server. Another thing that we have to do is in security we need to add domain computers. And give them the enroll permission. We can create this new template, and you see it here, web intranet, and now we can go to certificate templates and import it. It could be that we cannot do it without a server restart, but I will try, and if it's needed I will restart and come back. So to import a template we just right click here, new, certificate template to issue, and we should see it if it worked, but unfortunately we don't see it. Let's restart the server and then we go back to try to import it. So with the server restarted, now let's try again. MMC, add remove snapping, let's add certificate authority. Let's go again to certificate templates. And try to find our newly created template, which is right here, web intranet. Click OK. So now we have it imported, and with the template imported we can now go ahead and request certificates from this template. And here is how we would do it. We can add a new snap-in called certificates, add it as the computer account, and this computer is fine. Now go to personal and let's request a new certificate. Right click, request new certificate, choose Active Directory enrollment policy since we don't have another one. This is the list of security types we can request with this computer account. Let's choose web intranet, and you see that it requires a couple of more information before we can go on. So click here, and here for example If this certificate would be for a website, we can do the following thing. We can select DNS in alternative names, and we can specify the website name. Let's call it testsite.testcorp.local. Let's add it, apply. Now we can enroll this certificate. With the certificate enrolled, now you see it in the certificates list. And if we had IIS, we could add it, for example, to a website. So this was more or less how to install and configure a very basic certificate authority. Of course, we didn't go into PKI and PKI infrastructure. This was just a very simple video to get you started. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and share the video. Also consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.